This is Chuck with Metal Wani. I'm talking to...
Hey, this is Chuck. So as I was getting ready to get into the interview with the Legion, my video recorder took a crap and I lost the first half of the interview. Total bummer. Sorry guys, but I do have the rest of the interview. It's really good, and we'll get into it right now. So thanks a lot.
All right, we're going again. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So Elements of the Infinite, I thought at that point in time was like the pinnacle of what you guys have done. Now, with Proponents of Sentience, it's, I think, even better than the last album.
Proponent for Sentience.
Sorry, Proponent.
No.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. I just don't want people calling it Proponent of Sentience, because then the anagram is piece of shit.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah,
it's not
POS.
It's PFS. It's an important distinction.
Oh my God. All right. So anyway, now that you get this album out and you've already started like thinking about the next album, are there like different, I guess, themes and musical structures you guys want to get into and explore?
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely, a few things that we've thrown at the wall as far as like concepts go and some different ideas, all while keeping kind of like the standard Allegiant writing style intact. There's definitely a few ideas that we've played around with, but nothing that's been fully set in stone yet.
Cool.
And that mostly comes down from permission.
Yeah.
Because our ideas are very grand.
Yeah.
Grandiose, shall we say. This was supposed to be quiet.
Yeah, well, hey, it's all good. Little background action,
It's not a trash can.
Oh, man.
Let's see, where was I? Okay, so one thing I really liked, what I love about metal, is like in the lyrics, it's almost like you get like a lesson. You like to learn things, like in what was that? Grey Matter Mechanics, there's the Tempest Gyrus, what was that? Inferior Temper Gyrus, which was the vision processing system of brain. I had to, get in there and you Google things and you figure things out from the lyrics. Do you, when you're writing lyrics, are you thinking more about the story you want to tell and then throwing in some things that you're just kind of challenging the listener to like think about?
Sort of. I mean, I feel like with the topics that we oftentimes choose to write about, a lot of that extra information just kind of comes along with it. I mean, like in order to properly convey a lot of the ideas that we choose to write about in our songs, you kind of have to present information that a lot of people may not already be familiar with.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's really cool that provides the incentive for some people to like Google it and learn things too about what the topics of those songs may be about.
Right. Cool.
I think that a lot of it has to come with. It's not that I know for me anyway, when I hear about a topic that I'm like, oh my God, that's interesting as hell, it becomes a learning process for me. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. We're not scientists. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
We are novices at best.
Right.
So the research for us is just as much about us learning new things and finding like cool shit. And like those terms. I learned something. I didn't know what it meant. I was just looking. What does it do? Oh, it does these things. Oh, those syllables fit great there.
Yeah.
I didn't even get it. I just learned what the hell are we singing about. I don't know.
Yeah, it's structures of the brain. It's awesome. So there was a bit of controversy that you guys were involved in with your fundraising on Patreon.
Well, that's putting it lightly.
Yeah. My personal feeling is that it's bullshit. If somebody wants to support your band and you guys are using that method, that's totally cool. I think it got totally blown out of proportion as far as people going off the handle on that. That's my editorial on that. But I'm just wondering, for you guys overall, given that, that shit that was going on, do you feel like it was a negative detrimental to you overall, or has it been overall positive?
I think that it's kind of neither. I feel like we kind of are at the same place that we were before the controversy blew up and then settled down. Like,
Right.
I think that a lot of people have realized that bands have been doing fan clubs forever since like the 80s, and Patreon is just kind of a modern platform for that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there have always been like mailers and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, things where people send in their $15 and get something in return.
Right,
and that's
exactly.
basically exactly what the Patreon platform is. You know, could we have marketed it a little bit better? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, but, you know, we were more attempting to speak to our pre-existing fans that know our personalities and know that we're just a bunch of goofballs and kind of a bunch of jackasses.
Right.
They like to have asses in the background when we do interviews.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know,
Anybody that didn't know us
Yeah.
took it as very, like,
Yeah.
these guys are sitting in a van laughing
Yeah.
about how they need money kind of
Right.
thing. And it's so, you know, I understand where the lashback came from, but now that it's settled down, I think a lot of people have just been like, oh, it's just a fan club.
Yeah. 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 I mean, because there's was it Nay Abascaris?
Yeah.
They ran into that same kind of thing. So, you know, and like I personally hope that you guys do great, you know, and that works out fabulously for you. I'm gonna guess that lessons learned is just, you know, go with who your fans are, or are there any other things you wanna share about?
I mean, it was really. I don't know how much. I mean, I guess we need to be a little bit more attentive to. It's hard to do because we're doing this for our fans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like our marketing. We had cleared that video. I mean, I sent it to fans like, "Hey, is this all right? Like, it seems a little silly." And they're like, "Well, that's you." I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's dead on us. You know, and they're like, "No, I think it's great," you know. And then when people that don't know who we are saw it, you know, they got the wrong end of the stick, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. The people that it was intended for, I think it was perfect.
Yeah, it did,
You know,
did well.
I mean, it did really well with the people that we made it for.
Right.
And it had the exact opposite reaction to people that we didn't ever
Don't know
intend, you know, to do it. So, you know, I don't know. Like, I know there's a lesson there.
I think that the lesson to be learned,
guys,
because the same thing happened with us and Nebula Scars, is that
You want to do that now?
people, as soon as you start talking
So the
about
BFU guys got some stuff they want to give us,
like what
we can go to that.
the behind the curtain elements of being in a band are, people start to get the wrong impression, and you know, it can come off as bands, you know, taking for granted the people in the industry that help them out, or you know, it can come off as bands, you know, begging for change kind of thing.
Right.
When in reality, it's just kind of trying to provide some insight to people who may not know because they're not in a band.
Yeah.
You know, what goes into being in a band and how bands can end up in a financial crisis. But, like I said, we probably should have just marketed it as the fan club that it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, kept all that behind the curtain information behind the curtain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a really good lesson. And part of it, it's really hard for someone to understand that hasn't done it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally understandable, you know, in hindsight, why people got upset. Like, totally, I get it.
Yeah.
But there was people going to be upset anyway because they don't know.
Right.
You know? And it's really hard, and it's like, if I was in this position, I would have no clue.
Yeah.
Like, the losses and what it takes to do this, you know? Because you hear those people, you don't get real jobs, and it's like, man, you don't, if you were in our position, you would know exactly why that is not possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't, hey, I need 3 weeks off. I don't see a real job allowing you to do that.
Right.
Even if they do, hey,
That's only 3 weeks.
I'm home for a week, you know, 2 weeks. I need another 3 weeks off.
Right.
Well, you're fired.
Right.
And that's just the reality of it is,
Yeah.
you know?
Goes.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we try to get a loan,
Yeah.
you know, and the truth is our credit's not good because we can't hold the gainful employment to raise the credit because, we're doing this, you know?
Right.
Yeah, people don't get it.
It's
And
very much running a business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's often a misconstruation between this is just your hobby and
Yeah.
this is your career.
Right.
And at this point, for Legion, being in this band is a career for each and every one of us. You know, we're all business partners at this point. It's not just a bunch of guys playing music together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking out loud. I'm like, I made tea last night, and like I left the water, and it's like I could make. Oh, it's over there. I'm like, so I could make it when I came in today. And it's fun.
All right. So this is going to be Corey's his last tour. Actually, is this his last show?
This is his last show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the plans as far as new replacements for Corey? Have you worked it out?
You know, we really want to take our time in getting a new permanent bass player. We already do have someone set up to fill in for us, Andrew from Legend.
Yep.
But as far as getting a permanent bass player, you know, like I said, we really want to take our time, make sure that the shoe really fits.
Yeah.
And we're willing to kind of wait it out as long as necessary.
We don't want another lineup change. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick of it. We haven't had one lineup consistent through a record. Like every record we've done, even our EP before we got signed, different lineup. It's never been the same. So I'm ready to have like a consistent group of dudes.
And we're almost there.
All right.
You know,
Yeah.
Well,
one missing piece of the puzzle. So as long as it takes to find that piece is what we're going to do.
Awesome. So since the Proponent 4 Sentience, POS, came out in September, you guys have been on the road. I just saw the announcement for the tour with Whitechapel and Cattle Decapitation. So do you guys have any, and that's again like through the States, got any plans at all to head over to Europe? I mean, because I think you guys would be huge there.
We did just recently lock down some European representation, so it's just a matter of time before we get over there. It's definitely on the itinerary, but nothing has been planned.
Yeah, yeah, because they have. I mean, their festivals over there are just
Killer.
insane. Yeah.
I mean, it's been on the itinerary for years, and it always just disintegrates in our hands.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah, until it happens, it's just like,
NS is no sale.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Whitechapel tour would be great, you know.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
fun.
That'd be awesome. Let's see. Just kind of a question about what has been your biggest influence for creativity?
You know, I try to personally find influences from all different styles of music. I try to keep a pretty broad palette, not only listening to metal, but listening to just about everything else that's out there. You know, you can really gather a lot, or I can gather a lot personally, of inspiration from, different genres of music and what they have to present. You know, whether it's production techniques or songwriting techniques or lyrical themes. As great as metal is, it's not all-encompassing. So it's cool to be able to kind of dip your toes in other pools to gain a little bit of creative inspiration.
Cool.
for me, it's, obviously I listen to a lot of classical music, having a classical background. But for me, it's learning a lot about metal. There's a lot of metal that I don't particularly care for, but when we're writing, I'll try to find out what exactly about it is appealing to people, and maybe there's something I can learn from it.
That's cool.
I'm not like a big gent guy.
Yeah.
I don't get it because it's a more rhythmic style of metal than my brain likes to work. I'm much more of a notey guy instead of a rhythmic guy.
Yeah.
And fair play. It's not like it's inferior. It's just different
Yeah.
than what I want to do.
Yeah.
And but I know how popular that is, and there's definitely stuff that can be learned from that.
Right.
So there was definitely some time I was digging into the Periphery catalog and those guys and see what they had to offer, and it's still not my thing, but I respect the crap out of it.
Yeah.
And it's the same as like with black metal. I'm not the biggest black metal fan, but there's plenty of it that I do think is amazing. And it's what can make your music better. It's the sum of the parts. So why don't you grab some other parts? And
Right.
yeah, like, and I have.
I was gonna say on the new album you've got the I can't think of the name of it, the flamenco song. Oh, Gray Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that would be more the flamenco side,
Yeah.
or the classical side of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's so much great metal out there that's not even. There's people that get caught up in this genreification so much.
Yeah.
That I don't think there's an appreciation of what it actually is for what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? You may not like it, but there's got to be something in it that appeals. If it's that popular, it appeals to a lot of sense. And what exactly is it? And if you can put your finger on that, then you can kind of make that your own if you absorb that thing. Yeah. And
although you do have to scratch your head sometimes when you hear some stuff. You're like, what?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, why?
And the knee-jerk reaction for that is to go, well, it sucks.
Yeah.
And just because, and that's kind of that's a very human thing. And just because you don't understand something doesn't make it it's bad.
Right.
And the older I get, the more I try to change my thinking. It's like if I don't understand something, I'm going to try to at least attempt to understand it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I have to like it.
Right.
But if I can learn from that, it's only going to make what
It's
I
a
do
tea
better.
kettle, but
Yeah.
it'll
Get a shot of the line yet or anything?
All right, so I got just one more question for you guys. What's your favorite breakfast food? Yeah.
Yeah, line was a tough one. I love waffles, but I also love French toast.
Okay, cool.
I like the versatility of waffles. Like you can
So yeah, with
put
that,
so many things in waffles.
would you want to just come in
The
there
French
with me right
toast
now
is
and
just such a
I'll start talking to
staple.
people?
Yeah.
For me, it would be lunch.
It'll be right.
I hate breakfast. I can't stand it. I get angry when I pull up. When we're recording and we have to be at the studio at 9. Oh, dude. Oh, I'm like, oh wait, we can't have lunch yet. Oh, I get so angry. I hate eggs, and that's like such a huge. I had to have a surgery, and they made me eat these hard-boiled eggs. I could never touch an egg again, so I can't do that. Pancakes are fine, but it's just like so messy, and and it's a labor. I just can't eat it. You know, I need to chop it up. I don't know.
Yeah. And after you eat pancakes, you kind of feel like the syrup's been everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? It's like it's
just gonna make a
That's what I'm
mess.
saying. Waffles, they've got the little pockets.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
Waffles are like breakfast pizza. You can like cut them into little like. They're so good.
breakfast pizza. There you go. Oh,
It was a great dinner. It can make a great breakfast,
yes.
cold or warm.
Excellent segue. All right, well, guys, I appreciate you talking with me.
Sorry
Really
how
appreciate
noisy
it.
was, man.
Hey, you know, it's all right, man. It'll work,
I got slightly perturbed. Like, wow.
Oh, well. Oh, thanks again, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.